crouching in a moist old-growth forest in northern Kentucky next to one of my favorite early spring greens, chickweed. When it comes to habitat, chickweed is not all that particular. Here we're finding it in moist woods, nestled amidst the Dutchman's breeches, the spring beauties, wild violets, wild ginger, very common early spring wildflowers. But you can also find this in cities, in the sidewalks, at the edge of woods. It seems to thrive just about anywhere. I really like it because for me it's a metaphor of how to approach winter. It is one of the few flowers that dares to bloom in the wintertime. Regarding identification, one of the best tools I know is to look at the flowers. The flowers are really interesting. It appears to have 10 petals, but really it only has 5. And if you look really close, it has deeply cleft petals that go all the way almost to the center of it. It also has hair, but only on one side of it, and the leaves are opposite going up the stem, and it grows from anywhere to about 3 inches to maybe 10 or 11 inches. In Appalachian lore, they're used as something of a barometer, with people believing that if the petals are closed into a bud, that there's going to be rain in the next 4 hours. But if they're open, you're safe to go out and explore and you're not going to get wet. We know that as soon as we pick one of our plant friends, they've given their lives for our nutrition. The vast majority of our food comes to us from thousands of miles away. If we pick a plant and it dies as soon as we pick it, what does that say about the quality of the food that we're getting when we know that this food loses nutrients immediately as soon as it's picked? Today we're going to be working with plants that have just been picked an hour before. So all of these plants are powerfully alive and vital and chock full of nutrition, and they're native to this soil. They're supposed to be there, and they're humble little plants that most people call weeds. The star of the show today, of course, is chickweed, but we're going to work with some other wild greens to make a pesto. So the first green that we're going to work with is garlic mustard. So I gathered it when I gathered the chickweed. This is about half a cup. We're going to use a few sprigs of the bitter tonifying dandelion to add that type of flavor in. And we're going to use violets from the yard, including the flowers, to see if we can, what kind of color we can get. And that's about half a cup of violets. And then the chickweed that we picked earlier. This is about a cup of chickweed. So 2 cups of wild greens sum in total. So the walnuts we're going to use are the walnuts that are native to the United States. Not the kind that you typically buy in stores are English walnuts, and they taste radically different. So these we gathered in the springtime and dried and are able to now use to make this pesto. This is about 2 tablespoons, maybe 2.5. And we're just going to add some garlic. If you tolerate field garlic well, it's out this time of year, and not everyone tolerates it well, but you use it about equally as how much you use the commercial garlic. So I use 6 cloves. I really like garlic. Typical pesto is only 3 cloves, maybe 2 or 3 cloves. I'm putting about half a tablespoon of Himalayan pink crystal salt, and this is the pawpaw vinegar that we made in one of our other videos. That's about a tablespoon and a half. And to finish it off, half a cup of olive oil. Alright. Got those added to the food processor. Voila! An Appalachian pesto. Thank you for taking the time to visit with us today and for all the work that you do to defend our plant friends. And if you learned something today, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your neighbor. Share it with your coworker. Share it with your wife or husband or partner. Share it with your mother, share it with your father, and most importantly, share it with your children. This is vital information that is in danger of being lost to us. Let's keep these traditions alive, my friends. Thank you.